Book review. Man of Peace is more than just a biography of the Dalai Lama of Tibet. Man of Peace, the illustrated life story of the Dalai Lama of Tibet, is a powerful illustrated non-fiction graphic novel written by William Myers, Robert Thurman, and Michael G. Burbank. The illustrations are presented by Steve Buxaleto, Donald Hudson, Kinson Lowe, Miranda Meeks, and Andre Pervukhin. It is a vivid exploration of the life and spiritual journey of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, presented against the turbulent backdrop of Tibet's modern political history. Spanning over a century from the British invasion of Tibet in 1904 to recent global activism, this book inculcates geopolitics, history, spirituality, and human rights into a visually compelling narrative. Divided into 10 parts, the book documents the Dalai Lama's journey from his birth to his recognition as a global symbol of peace, compassion, and resistance. It explores the political turmoil of the 20th century, particularly the Chinese occupation of Tibet and the cultural genocide that followed. The book confronts difficult realities head-on. It portrays the brutalities of the Chinese invasion, the 1959 Tibetan uprising, and the massive loss of Tibetan lives, while simultaneously showcasing the resilience and compassion of His Holiness. The first part sets the geopolitical stage, highlighting Tibet's geographic significance and the interplay between powers such as British India, China, Russia, and Mongolia. The visuals, combined with historical context like the Young Husband mission and the 13th Dalai Lama's pilgrimage to India, help readers understand how the Tibetan cause was not just local, but political as well. The second part focuses on the early years of Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama, and his enthronement. His training at Drepung Monastery's Gomang College, where emphasis was laid on logic and debate, is a testament to the deeply scholastic tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. The third and fourth parts capture the growing tension with Mao Zedong's China. While the Dalai Lama initially tried diplomacy, attending the National Assembly in Beijing and meeting Mao, the atrocities in Amdo and Kham revealed China's true intentions. The supposed peace guaranteed in the 1951 17-point agreement was betrayed. By 1959, over 15,000 Tibetans were killed in a matter of days during a violent crackdown. The book provides statistics, maps, and real quotes that reflect emotions arising out of painful historical events. The fifth part shifts to India, where a 23-year-old Dalai Lama finds refuge after fleeing Tibet. His dialogue with Prime Minister Nehru and the UN's 1959 resolution on Tibet marked the beginning of Tibet's internationalization. While India's support remained mostly humanitarian, the global recognition of the Tibetan cause was a turning point. In the sixth and seventh parts, the book traces the 1960s and 1970s. The Dalai Lama is shown engaging with world leaders, including Indira Gandhi, while atrocities in Tibet continued. The narration is explained in the backdrop of global events, which includes Cold War dynamics, China-US rapprochement, and Vietnam, which shaped the Dalai Lama's path. Simultaneously, he began spreading his spiritual teachings, notably the Kala Chakra teachings, making Tibetan Buddhism accessible to Western audiences. The eighth part presents the Dalai Lama's 1987 five-point peace plan and his address at the European Parliament in Strasbourg. This section is rich with political nuance, from the Tiananmen Square massacre to his receipt of the 1989 Nobel Peace Prize. The Dalai Lama emerges not just as a spiritual leader, but as a statesman advocating for peaceful solutions rooted in compassion. The ninth and 10th parts cover his increasing global recognition and the challenges he continues to face. From the Lhasa riots to widespread self-immolations in Tibet to countries hesitating to welcome His Holiness under Chinese pressure, the struggle for Tibetan autonomy remains unresolved. The book ends with the Dalai Lama's three lifelong commitments as a human being, a Buddhist monk, and a Tibetan. What makes this book truly stand out is the graphic novel format, which allows complex ideas such as geopolitical negotiations, refugee trauma, spiritual wisdom to be presented in a way that is accessible, yet keeping the details intact. Readers unfamiliar with the China-Tibet issue will benefit from the concise timelines, maps, and infographics embedded within the book. However, there are some limitations. It may not be suitable for children under 12, as it contains graphic depictions of violence, politically sensitive language, and mature themes such as torture and immolation. The reading experience can also be dense at times, requiring readers to pause, reflect, and sometimes research further. The readers may find it a bit tedious to read this book in a single sitting as the reading demands attention and emotional engagement. The authors made concerted efforts in deepening the understanding of the Tibetan cause and to induce feelings of courage, patience, and standing up for what is right, even when the odds are against the situation. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's character, which embodies resilience, gentleness, and pragmatism, is beautifully portrayed. The scenes of cultural preservation, like the founding of Tibet House in the US, or the construction of Kalachakra Temple in St. Petersburg, Russia, reveal how deeply rooted he is in his spiritual tradition while being open to modern dialogue. Ultimately, Man of Peace is more than just a biography. It is a dialogue on identity crisis, loss, resistance, and hope. For students of international relations, it offers insight into realpolitik, diplomacy, and moral leadership. For readers seeking the spiritual aspect, it presents a lived example of nonviolence and inner strength. And for everyone else, it's a reminder that one person's life can transcend beyond their territory. Swipe left for next video. This book will be enticing for anyone interested in world history, peace movements, and spiritual resilience. It will instill a shift in perspective regarding leadership and invoke a renewed belief in the power of compassion as a tool of resistance. This writer is Research Assistant, International Buddhist Confederation, IBC, New Delhi. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely that of the author. They do not necessarily reflect News 18's views. Latest blogs.